Moving right along, we just did drawing from Chapter 1, Verse 9 of the good book, C64 Assembly Language Programming, PDF, free. Okay, so then after you do that, this is nice. The author suggests a couple of exercises. Okay, so really, from everything you've learned so far, you should be able to do all of this right off the top of your head. If I've given you enough repetitions. Load the accumulator directly with A1, display this screen A in 1024. There. You should know how to do that off the top of your head by now, right? Don't forget to put the RTS at the end. If you do, the 60 will run and see what it can find and try to execute this. Okay, if you're lucky. Yeah, so it could actually go off into the next program that's still residing in memory. If you write a short program and you had written a longer program before that, you might get the tail end of the previous program. Write your name in the top left corner of the screen. One possible answer in the book. You should be able to do that by now as well. And here, I already gave you this exercise. Put an X in each of the four corners. And I went further to say, go ahead and color each one a different color. So you should be able to do all that right off the top of your head. Then he goes on to talk about the Y register, which I just explained previously. It's pretty much the same as the X register, and here's some rudimentary graphics explaining where things are stored in memory and such. By now, you should know or be able to interpret the following: LDA, LDX, LDY, RTS, LDAIM, which is immediate mode, LDXIM, LDYIM, STA, store the accumulator somewhere, store X, store the X register somewhere, store Y, ADC, and also in addition to this, you should know CLC, clear clear the carry. Let me jump back here for one quickie second here. I'm going to go back to addition. There's the addition where we use clear carry to make sure that the mathematical operation was correct. And he also had you throw in this clear decimal, which I have found isn't necessary for this particular program, so maybe that was overkill, but it works just as well with just this bit. Okay. Okay, that being said, okay, and then here he shows you what I already showed you, that you can do the same thing using X register and as Y register. Okay, so now we're introducing a new command, TAX. Transfer the contents of the accumulator into index register X. So let's just do that. TAX. Let me save that for the heck of it while we're here and make a new file. And this is just TAX. Still have the 828 that I copied earlier. Let me go down 2 lines. Tab in. Let's see what we have. Yeah, TAX. Okay. LDA, immediate mode. STA, store it to the first slot in screen memory. STA, store the same value in the color register 55296. So that should give you white. Okay, now here's the new command, TAX. Transfer whatever's in the accumulator to the X register. And you don't have to put anything after it. Now that it's in the X register, let's store the value in the X register to, you know what this means. Tell me, what's 1026? Okay. Let us also store the same value, STX, at 55298. What does this do, people? Huh? Good, good, good. Good answer. RTS. Done. Dun, dun, dun. Let's run it. Sys 828. There. Just did the same thing as the previous, only before he stored the value in the memory location and then drew from that. Whereas here, he's transferring the value directly from that's already, the LDA is in the accumulator, loaded, and put it a couple places, but then also take that same value still residing in the accumulator and transfer it over to one of the registers. Pretty straightforward. And then, of course, there's some explanations. Um, transfer A into X, transfer A into Y, T-A-Y, transfer it back, transfer the X into the A register, and transfer Y into the A register. Okay, let's see what the exercises are at the bottom of this chapter 113. That would be 25 in PDF format. Write a program that loads a Z into the accumulator and an A into the X register. Then without any further immediate mode commands, swaps these over and prints the Z on the first screen memory location and the A on the last. A possible answer on page 3. Okay, that's a kind of a bit of a trick question because if I'm not mistaken, when you go to the solution, he uses a slot in memory, right? So that would be like STA 900, right? So there he's, yeah, that's a little, he's showing you how to do this, how to do that, how to do the other, and then he throws you a curveball, by saying, "Oh, remember something we did 6 exercises back," and use that as a solution. Okay. Next exercise: write a program that loads a diamond into the accumulator, an asterisk into X, and an E into Y. Without using any further immediate mode commands, move the E into A, the diamond into X, and the asterisk into Y. Print the diamond to the screen, bottom left, the asterisk in the bottom right, and 2 E's, one in each of the top 2 corners of the screen. Right. Well, so this one you can get away without using memory. This is the one where, you're like, I can't do this. You're trying to juggle with these three, with the accumulator and 2 registers, and they're all full. So how do you transfer? Well, the trick is you have to use a bit of memory. STA 900, STX 901, or whatever, and then transfer them over. Got that? Okay. So simple enough exercises you should be able to do based on what you have learned.